Greg Palast here in studio with us, folks, and we want to encourage you to get on board. Your calls, 866-997-4748, 866-99-SIRIUS. Now, but this is another bombshell. This is on your site, gregpalast.com. There's another spill that's going on right now?
Well, they finally stopped that one. It's smaller. Okay. It was in Alaska, 100,000 gallons of oil. 100,000, maybe barrels, I'll check it. But it's a big spill.
Yeah.
100,000 gallons is a lot of oil.
Yeah.
Very destructive.
Yeah.
That was, again, the British Petroleum Pipeline in Alaska. And how did that happen? This has happened before in 2006 when they shut down the whole pipeline system, because British Petroleum has this old rusting pipe that takes the oil from the north slope of Alaska down 800 miles to Valdez. It's a 40-year-old pipe. It's rusty. It's crappy. They won't fix it up because it costs a lot of money to do that. And as a result, you know, rusty old pipe. The same thing if it happens in your basement, it's going to blow.
So, you know, that's a cost-cutting thing to do.
Once again.
Even though, you know, it doesn't, you know, help anybody in terms of safety. It's just, it's ridiculous.
The natives in Alaska who own the shoreline. The villages were just destroyed. These people lived off of what they could catch and what they could hunt, and that was the end of them, because they're in the middle of nowhere and everything was poison. It's still poison. You go back to Alaska today. BP, Exxon had this whole line, nature will take care of it. Let me tell you something. You go back to Alaska today, you go to Sleepy Bay, some of these islands, you stick your hand on the beach, go down about 6 inches, and you will pull up crude oil on your fingers. You will pull up the oil.
Really?
And if you go out to some of these beaches, they have a little storm or something, suddenly you'll see an oily sheen on the water. It just churns it up, brings it out. It's 20 years later, man.
Yeah.
Mark, 20 years.
Still there in Alaska.
You know, they have, where's the rubber? You know, it's simple. Like I say, rubber skimmers. The president called these things out. I'm sorry, 5 days, because he trusted BP. I'm sure they were telling him every day, oh, don't worry, we're taking care of it. Don't worry, we're taking care of it.
Yeah.
You know, and then finally said, you're not taking care of it. But then the oil, you know, was too late to control it. Now they're trying to do it the hard way, which is to try to kind of put basically a big rubber condom around the entire Gulf Coast, you know, and say, hey, it's going to work. Hey, accidents happen. Well, if they do happen, then don't you think you ought to be prepared if you're creating the accidents?
Socialism is okay if it's for your corporate friend.
Right. And that, you know, so what happens, it's the old thing that they're sticking us with the bill. I know a lot of people want Obama to be emotional and cry over the oily birds. You know, I mean, let's face it. He was elected because he doesn't panic when we had a financial panic.
Right.
So, you know, so that's what we want. A guy doesn't lose his head. My complaint, was that he was way too trusting of BP, and he acted with huge, massive attack on the problem, but it was 5 days late.
Bigger than Exxon Valdez in terms of this bill. It's already surpassed that, and Thad Allen is saying it could take years before this situation is resolved. Will you also, again, you expose the real culprits in these issues. I think it's a bit unfair, but I've had to accept, Greg, that a lot of Americans, even those who support President Obama, blame him for not having a very passionate response. Now, it's human nature. People want to deal with something they see. BP just doesn't have really a public face other than Tony Hayward. He's still kind of hidden. I mean, he's kind of, you know, apart from this, nobody's really jumping on him as an individual. But it's like a lot of people are looking to the government. Chamber of Commerce
was to mobilize the Navy and the Coast Guard, which is going to cost a fortune. All that rubber and stuff was contractors working on emergency basis. They didn't want to pay that bill. They thought that they could try all these gimmicks to plug the well right off. Somehow get those the blowout preventers working. In the meantime, the oil is spreading. They should have just said, look, we got to throw the money at this. But the problem was, again, Obama was trusting. You know, we saw that try to make deals with the Republicans on health care until we finally said enough of this game. Enough of this game.